Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my career to raise my half-sister? Okay, some context. My mom became unable to work due to losing function in her legs and right arm due to suffering a stroke. So this left no one available to care for my half-sister, as her father isn't currently in the picture and doesn't want to take her in and just sends child support checks once a month. This led to my mother reaching out to me and asking if I could take her in since she could no longer afford full-time care for herself while having someone take care of her. I told her that I couldn't take care of a kid and I wouldn't want to even if I could, and she's got to find some other solution. This is mainly due to me having to travel internationally every other week for work. So I told her that not many jobs would pay nearly as well if I worked locally, and it would be a pain to find another job near where we live. I also told her that it would be a terrible financial decision to give up a really good job in a lucrative industry just so I can parent a kid that I didn't want in the first place. She tried to offer the child support amount as compensation, but that doesn't even cover the cost of raising a kid, much less the six-figure pay cut I'd take by switching jobs. So I told her there's nothing I can do for her and to try other options. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. May I ask how old your little sister is? The only in this story is her father, who refuses to take care of his child, seeing it is his responsibility. A boarding school could be a good solution. Not the asshole. This situation sucks, but it's not your responsibility to raise a child that isn't yours. That being said, I'm sure there's something you could do to help out. No. Like I said, it's not responsibility, but it could provide some relief for both of you. I don't think you're TA for not wanting to raise her, but if the difficulty for your mom keeping her is financial and you've got a lucrative job, what about helping pay for keeping her with her mother? If switching jobs would mean a six-figure pay cut, it sounds like you could significantly help without hurting yourself. So far, but refusing to help would be pretty selfish. Can the child support agreement with the girl's father be reassessed due to this major change in circumstance? Are there other options, or is CPS going to have to take this kid and throw her into foster care? Not the asshole, and I hope you do what's right for you. Help wherever you can, but it's not your responsibility, and honestly, it sounds like you really don't want to. It's so unfortunate what happened to your mom and the situation that they're in, but you'll hold serious resentment that you don't deserve. Do what you want to help, but don't let it affect the trajectory of your life. Not the asshole. The dad should step up, not you, if mom cannot. She needs a nanny and not expect you to give up your life to raise your sister when there are options available. Not the asshole at all. These people commenting about how you could help more. Respectfully, you don't have a clue what this is like. It's a lot, not just financially, which you are all focusing on, but emotionally. For the central question, but unless you are missing out a lot of pertinent information. The way you responded to your mother seems both cold and lacking empathy. Your mother is very ill and needs support. It was completely unrealistic of her to expect you to upend your life, but support doesn't mean you have to do that. Can you not help your mother with working out what her options are? Sitting down with her, going through her finances, researching on her behalf her different options. That's support, and it might mean your mother feels less alone. Not the asshole. X200B Your parents are both ours, but you don't need to take over their parental duties. Not the asshole. It's really as simple as if you don't want a child, don't adopt one. Children deserve to be raised by people who want to raise them. Not the asshole. This happened to me. I'm a bit older than my sister, and my mom had a stroke that pretty much ruined her life as a functional member of society. My sister was 15 and her father passed when she was 10. There was no room in my life to care for a teenager. They eventually moved to our grandmother's home as she had space and time. It was rough on my sister as she never got along with our grandmother, but she had an adult with the time and resources to look out for her. That person was not me at 20-something. Not the asshole. This kid isn't your responsibility. If you were to take them in and leave them alone and something happened, you would be arrested. You have a good life and a good career, throwing it away is stupid. Also, quick question: what is your relationship with them like? I have sent it asked or addressed. It's the father's responsibility, not ops. Not the asshole. You deserve to have your own life. You are not your mother's backup plan. Info 1. Do you have much of a relationship with your mother and half-sister? 2. Is there any other family in the picture that could help, either on your side of the family or on the father's side of the family? 3. Are you open to ways of helping other than taking custody of your half-sister, or are you firm on wanting to stay out of the situation entirely? Someone mentioned an AU pair as a low-cost solution for OP. It should be noted that AU pairs can't work 24/7 365. They are limited to working X number of hours a day, X number per week, X number per month. They are entitled to and must receive a certain amount of days off, too. The OP stated they not only travel extensively for work but do so for a length of time, which would go over the amount of time that an AU pair is contractually allowed to work. OP, are there any other family members in your half-sister's life who are able to take her in and provide the care and comfort she needs? Honestly, not the asshole. Giving up your life, essentially, to raise someone else's kid you didn't sign for is not required, however bad people make you feel. Ultimately, you live for you. Would you be able pooling child support, potentially a child support review from court, and you adding to it to just send her to boarding school? The legal obligation lies with the father of this child. Not the asshole. There's a father. It's his responsibility to take care of his daughter. Not the asshole. It's a bad situation, but it's not your responsibility. Info: do you know your half-sister? She isn't your responsibility. But it seems to me that you don't care about her at all. Is there another solution to find? I'm not judging you, just asking. Not the asshole. You don't owe them anything. Go enjoy your life. Not the asshole. Not at all. Ntar. Not the asshole. Her father needs to step up. Being 14, she should be able to take care of herself. If mom is in the home, she should arrange for home care. Something else is going on here. Don't give up your career. Ntar, it's not your child. The child's parents need to figure this out. Accept the AWOL dad. It sucks that she needs someone to raise her, and it sucks that you don't want to. It's a massive responsibility that you probably aren't prepared for anyways. If you can provide financial support for a permanent nanny or something, that may help out your mom's sister, but you need to be able to pay for food and board. Not the asshole, and I agree that would be a terrible idea. You might never get back to your current level, never mind progress to your potential level. Can you afford to help financially so that your mother could get some help? She probably could use a cleaning person once a week. That's what I would do. Things seem more manageable when you are disabled if your surroundings are clean and tidy. Best wishes to all of you. It's a tough situation. P.S. That child's father needs to step up his support. But you sound a little empathetic here. You say you make 6 figures. Would you be willing to help your mom financially so your half-sister can stay at home and not have to move to a full-time care facility? You are a high earner. Would you be willing to pay for a caregiver to provide in-home care for your mother and sister for a couple of years? You are in no way obligated to do this, of course, but it might be a good compromise which would have the emotional advantage to everyone of allowing your mother to continue raising your sister. Perhaps the child support plus some help from you will cover the expenses of a boarding school. Child support will need be revised if the primary parent is permanently disabled. The father may not have any choice but to step up. Now OP, it's not your fault if you don't want your sister, since she is not your kid nor your responsibility. What happened to your mom was unfortunate. I hope you too find a solution to that since your half-sister is just caught in the crossfire. But the way you speak about the situation and your family rubs me the wrong way, like no empathy or concern at all. You couldn't offer to help defray the cost of someone to take care of her. I honestly think this is You have the right to say no for whatever reason, but your reasons are very good. Your mom needs help and reached to see if you would be willing. When you said no due to money, she went to see if the child's support would be enough. It's not, but overall your mom did nothing wrong. It's just a bad situation. Not the asshole. I know this is a horrible circumstance, but you are not the parent of a child who is not yours. Still, I'm sure there's something you can do to support the cause. As I mentioned earlier, it's not a duty, but it might offer you both some relief. Not the asshole. The real is the dad who by his actions, is now displacing 2 ppl. I'm sorry. Just a poor situation to be in. Nah. Not the asshole. Does your sister have any close friends? Perhaps she could stay with a friend's family. Or one of your mother's friends. Can you help financially? You are allowed to not give up your career or your life. You're allowed to not want to take on this responsibility. But I feel bad for your sister. I would be offering my sister to move in with me. She's 14, not 2. I'm assuming she's pretty independent already, especially having to live with your mother. This is not a dig or meant to be offensive. However, she does have a bio father that is alive and should be taking responsibility. Just know this can have an impact on any relationship with your sister. I would never let a sibling go into foster care if I could afford it. Why not consider getting a nanny to care for your sister? It seems like you can afford it. You could keep your career and still see after your sister. Wouldn't you want your sister to do that for you? Not the asshole. Why can't mom find a caregiver who can do both? I'm sure they exist. Or, the M shift can be mom-focused and the PM shift can be daughter-focused with a little overlap. In whatever way you can do help, make sure there is a way for this kid to get the therapy they are going to need. Not the asshole for not doing this, but you could probably have a little more compassion and be a bit more helpful to your mom in figuring out a solution, so barring any other context, you're the asshole for your attitude about it. Help her find and work out those other options. Not the asshole. I have spoken. Not the asshole was asked to do something similar, except I'm still finding my career footing. All my friends said I shouldn't do it, support where I could and what I wanted to do. If you give up your income, that's time you won't get back. One day that kid will kick off to their own life and you won't have the money or time. Whilst you are not responsible for your sister, as a parent I could not imagine allowing her to move into a group home at 14. Surely you could afford a nanny or boarding school. Or the father could. Or there is another family member who can assist. Not the asshole. You have to focus on your own life. You are not the asshole in this instance. I am sure you really feel for your mom's situation. A stroke is no joke, but I'm sure with some careful checking, there are resources within the community that your mom can look into to assist her financially, disability and the like, for her and your sister's care. Not the asshole. It's harsh wording, but the truth is that you are an adult and have responsibilities. You should not have to give up a well-paid job and your own life for your sister. If you can, maybe you could send a bit of money to help with more home care so mom and sis can manage together. Otherwise, what about dad's family? Are there no grandparents, aunts, uncles that could help out? Nah. She wasn't wrong to ask, but you're not wrong to refuse. Really sucks for the kid. She has no one else. Nah, just ship the kid to foster care and no one has to hear from her again. I remember when people actually cared about their families and helped